Welcome to Tone Talks. Welcome to Tone Talks.
This is Attorney Antonio Moore coming to you from Tone Talks. I'm here to have a discussion today about a serious topic, a serious discussion that needs to be had. I think we're quickly moving towards a space where we have to begin to question everything that comes out of entertainment, because this group, meaning ADOS Black Americans, but Black Americans as a whole group, are really a group here to be preyed on economically. When we talk about the middle Black family having $8 in Boston, $11 in Miami, this is out of the Color Wealth Report, $200 in LA. Far too many of you guys talk about like buying a bank or we need to buy buildings. I'm telling you how much wealth your families have, everyone you know has, and you're telling me about some craziness. Part of that is because of Black celebrity. I believe Black celebrity, and I've talked to you about it before, has been here, put here for a particular role of the decadent veil, to cover up Black politics, to cover up Black wealth, and cover up the reality of the cost of being ADOS, American descendant slavery, as a whole group. And that's my opinion. But what we're seeing now is that geriatric, nostalgic, old Black celebrity. When I say old, I'm not talking about 3 years. I'm not talking about 10 years. I'm not even talking about 20. I'm talking about 30-year-old Black celebrities from 30 years ago, when many of you were even children, are here now, stuck in your mind from 106 and Park and 90s nostalgia, and they're being manipulated, again, in my view, to take advantage of that group that is largely just a abject poor group, and sell them product at high markups that they largely don't need, that take advantage of them, and nobody's saying nothing. And you guys go to the concerts, and you guys separate their old music from them, and they get to run around here selling y'all nonsense. So when you look at Ice-T, he's selling this CarShield, and what I'm watching, I'm trying to watch TV. I'm not trying to see this older man with these wrinkles. He pop out with Vivica Fox, and they both trying to justify selling us this CarShield, which is like some kind of car protection, extended warranty. We're going to dig into CarShield in their Better Business Bureau rating of a D. I believe in 2021, according to Denver News, it was an F, but it's a D now. And we're going to go into some of the reviews of CarShield. But we're also asking the question, why do you think they put them there? Meaning the people that own CarShield use them. You think it was to target like greater white America? Well, then we have also Jay-Z and Will Smith using rent to own to talk about trying to give homeownership to low-income buyers, when that's not what rent to own really leads to. And we're going to talk about that in a second as well. Jay-Z and Will Smith back rent to own startup Landis Technologies. And we're going to go into some of the reviews people have had of Landis. I want to get specific today. I already know these are awful businesses in my view. I'm not saying that extended warranty isn't good. I just know that this isn't where I would buy CarShield. It feels like it's targeting the poor, in my view, exploitive. And I want to talk about what some of those poor people have experienced. Rent to own is no way to buy a home, in my view. If you can't come with the money down, if the interest is too high, you're just not able to buy a home. So you need to be an apartment renter where you don't have the obligations to actually fix that home or fix that place of living, because you're renting. You put 1% down. Contract leasing, we've seen that history in Chicago and the like. And now these people, all these older Black celebrities, are selling that to us. But we also have Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx with this gambling, and I covered that. $1 to win $100. You think that's targeted at high wealth people? $1 to win $100. Either team scores a touchdown on Thursday night. Now, this is from last year, but they still using Kevin Hart, and I think I've seen Jamie's commercials. They paint these men with dye, with black dye. They put them out here. Kevin Hart and Jamie Foxx push dangerous fantasy football. So you have Ice-T and Vivica Fox selling the extended warranties, and I believe it's $100 a month or so. You got Will Smith and Jay-Z selling the rent-to-own home. Then you got Jamie Foxx and Kevin Hart selling this fantasy football, and ain't none of y'all saying anything. You still go to the concerts, you still support their movies, and that's it. And I need you guys to understand that your children can't have you say that's it and survive, because you're already not going to leave them no inheritance. I want to talk today. Can we get to the discussion today? Please support the channel, subscribe, donate, share. We're about to get into the discussion that nobody else is having about these issues that we have in our community, and also how these black celebrities are dyeing their hair and they come from the 90s. Jamie Foxx was on Living Color. That was like 92. A lot of us were 10 and 8 years old, and we like middle age now. You gotta realize Diddy looks like this in real life. So does Kevin Hart. But then when they put him on the commercial, he looked like this. Presenting youth. Don't do jingles as he teams with surprise guests for Uber's Super Bowl ad. We've talked about Uber and we'll talk about it more, how it targets largely those people who can't find work and leads to them liquidating their car, exploiting it. And that's what Diddy is doing right here. So we have Uber fantasy football, and we have rent to own and CarShield. So this is what these older black celebrities are doing to stick in your mind. These temptations. What you saying, Tone? I love some iced tea. You old too then. When your albums came out in 91 and 93, y'all gotta slow down and say, all right, it's 2023, 2013, 2003, 93. That's 30 years ago, bro. So this man is selling stuff through the lens of pop culture, and his popular culture is 30 years ago, which means it's like Temptations. And it shows like there's been a severe lack of connection, I believe, created by media to keep you disassociated from time. It's one thing, at least if it was like 3 to 5 years ago, and I think it is for some of y'all. This ain't 5 years ago. 94 ain't 5 years ago. Tupac didn't die 5 years ago no more. Aaliyah didn't pass away 5 years ago. God bless her soul, but we don't need no t-shirts. And you putting your kids in them t-shirts and sending them to school with everybody from Aaliyah to NWA to, come on, what we doing? We don't understand. We trying to relive that youth. Paint that life black just like they paint their face black. I want to talk today, 310-388-3499, about these products. Maybe if you drove Uber or you use the CarShield or you use as we go along, feel free to call in and give your experience. But I have plenty of reviews. And then you got Diddy. So all his albums, his main one was this one, 97, almost 30 years ago again. Then he tried to release a new one, don't nobody really care about, just to create the illusion that it's like been like consistent. No, this man is pretty much done, and his music is anywhere from 15 to 30 years old. He is the real Flash from the Five Heartbeats. And then now he's selling us Uber. The same Uber that exploits your families today, the same Uber that has led to a destruction in labor rights and was kicked off by Barack Obama only 2 months after he was sworn in. As I said to you before, Obama was sworn in January 09 and Uber launched March 09. You think that's about happenstance? And you brought, so when you see your kid drive Uber, you put them there when you voted for Barack Obama. And now, as I'm going to cover at the end, they're going to make him the head of the AI. So the guy that was tied in with the gig jobs and led to a destruction in labor rights is now going to be the head of the AI, and y'all not saying nothing. Probably didn't even know before I just showed you. Uber Super Bowl ad featuring Diddy takes unique approach to nostalgia. And you got him with the black hair. He brought all the nostalgic music out. I want to talk today. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
New York.
What's your take on this?
My take is that all the economies are narrowing. As far as jobs go, they tried us with crowdsourcing and figured out we would work for free.
Come on. Work for free.
And those are programmers.
What's your take on these black celebrities?
Well, you and Yvette, for the past 5 years have been saying they're not making the money that they said they were making to begin with. they're going to get it from? They've built an audience. They're going to use that audience. They're predators.
Mm.
They're predatory.
So what do we need to do? I have my own view. I believe it's time to let go of if sports is any sport going to be tied to gambling, we should just stop watching it. Especially if you got a young son or daughter, but particularly a young son in the house, you should start looking at it like liquor. I'm just telling you. Yeah, I mean they got the gambling in it now. ESPN just started they deal with they have their own gambling, and then the old black celebrities now they become product hawks of Grubhub, Uber, CarShield, Landis Rent to Own. So what we doing? Why we care about Will Smith getting a divorce? When are we gonna let go of the 90s? When we gonna let go of Tupac die? Come on, go ahead.
Well, we better hurry up because I mean, the economy has been crashing for a long time now, and if you're not figuring out how to adapt, how to adjust, you're really going to be left behind. I mean, it appears to be only us.
Gonna be. If you drive an Uber for the last 2-3 years, you've been left behind. If you go to YouTube, I'm gonna tell everybody what to do. Go to YouTube and type in car sleeping in the car. See how many videos come up with people sleeping in their car.
Well, that's right. That's right. Because I've been looking to move to a rural area, to move out of the city to a rural area. You think because you're a New Yorker, you could move some places rural and it would be easy. It is not. Because the way that the cost of houses have gone up, it's raising all of the tax prices, the real estate tax prices wherever you go.
Can I say something to you? We've done a couple shows here, and I recommend if you haven't watched them, you might have already. It's not prices are going up. They finally saying, well, who your mama and daddy? Where the money at? Yeah, it looked like the prices are going up, but the wages aren't matching. It's not prices going up or the wages will be matching. It's really saying it's time to look at who got mamas and daddies that got inheritance and who don't. And those people that can inherit gonna live the better. Go ahead. Give me your last take on this.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I have heard you say that in the past. It's the wealth that you can fall back on, and we don't have wealth to fall back on. You know, your mommy and daddy may have money, but you're not necessarily going to get it. That's my situation. I know that for a fact. You know, I bought a house that I can better get out of before the next year. But wherever I go, I better be prepared to pay those taxes and handle whatever else costs around house ownership are going to be raised over the coming years. And that takes wealth.
I agree.
It really does take wealth.
Thank you so much for calling in. Woo, let me take another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, Tom? This is Rita. Okay.
Give me your take on these old black celebrities selling this Grubhub, this rent to own, these car insurance policies. What's your take on it?
Yeah, well, you know, I had to call in because I always call in around entertainment and music as I used to be a DJ. So I used to, be in that world. So a couple things. I mean, I think first, since white folks, since the power structure has really controlled hip hop and black entertainment since the 90s, of which is the time that you're talking about, and all these artists, all the artists, all the actors, they've been puppets to that structure, literally have been controlled. We think we're listening to the hottest song out. We think we're watching the best movie out. No, this has all been controlled. So they are still controlled in being able to now control them to sell us this, to sell us that, to make us listen to this, to make us listen to that.
And make us not listen and make us not listen to certain other things. Let me say one thing, Rita. We covered it, so you're very aware. The Telecom Act it played a major role. That's policy at work. So before the Telecom Act of Bill Clinton, and my cousin used to work at the radio station with Luda. So I know this for a fact. And it's not just her, but I know this for a fact. I'm just telling you unequivocally. what used to happen is like radio stations had like stand demands, and I've said this to you before. And all these little black people own radio stations across the country. So you ended up with little James Brown or Richard, people that was off the works, and they would become artists. What happened is that you could only own 3 radio stations as a corporation. That led to no monopolies, and as a result, the artists flipped over a lot. MC Hammer came out in 92. He was gone by 95. And I'm saying to you, what happened was the Telecom Act of 96 by Bill Clinton took those walls down, and Clear Channel and another company came in and they bought all the radio. Well, they gave you Diddy and Jay-Z as well. And as a result, that's why they're here so long, because that monopoly over radio led to no new artists being fully like able to displace the old artists. And as a result, they are tied in the way she says they are with the power structure in ways that you guys don't even know. Go ahead.
Right. 100%. I mean, I we can talk later about it, but I was on radio for 2 years on Clear Channel here in the Bay Area. So, but that was in 2004. So after that came out, but I wasn't aware of that telecom situation until maybe I got off radio 2 years later, and I went through all the stuff. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. That policy, that whole monopoly on radio is what we're dealing with, especially with the artists. And then your last caller, exactly right. Sorry, but some of these folks need money.
All these folks.
Before it even happened. Yeah, you called it before it even happened. Billy Porter, right? As soon as the actors strike happened, which is still happening, it took maybe like 4 months before he was like, I gotta move out my house. Like, these artists and actors, they don't have the money it looks like they have. They just don't.
And let me say this. I'm tired of us giving people benefit of the doubt on obviously bad product. Rent to own is just a bad product. Don't let them tell you it's low income housing or nothing. It is rent to own, which is naturally exploitive in my view. This CarShield, that particular company, not extended warranties, CarShield. When Vivica Fox gets involved, she could read the Better Business Bureau. She could read these same stories. Why you still selling this product should be your question to her. I'm saying to you that an aging black celebrity has to be held to standard and stop looking for them when Jada Pinkett come out and start crushing on their heart. Nah, take all that, bro. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go, but give me your last thoughts.
Yeah, this is the last one. I agree with everything you say. Listening to this show, I'm like, man, Tom's gonna have to put some of these folks in the same boat as all these, scammers that have been called out lately in the past couple months. Anyway,
well, we doing that right now. Rita, me and you. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you, Rita. Let me say this. They can call in and get this work too. Ice-T, Vivica Fox, Will Smith, Hove. He can call in too. Get that work. I don't care who call in. But you better know your product. You better know the ins and outs of your car warranty, because I know how to talk about it. You better know the ins and outs of your rent to own. You better know the ins and outs of Grubhub. You better know the ins and outs of Uber, Diddy, if you call in. Don't call in here with no nonsense and thinking we just going to talk about black business and generally and how black people need to build. We're not going to do that. We're going to ask you about Uber and how they deactivate the drivers. How the star system is basically you got to keep 4 stars or you get deactivated. Ain't no real system for them drivers to dispute that they've been working hard. How the system is built to basically lean towards to view the customer as the whole story. So driver and the customer in the car, I'm saying that she's spitting my car. She's saying that I was late. You gone. You off Uber. Well, I just bought a car to be on Uber. We just get somebody else. Well, Diddy said, we don't know who Diddy is. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, this is Paul calling from Boston.
What's your take, Paul, on these black celebrities?
I think that you've been teaching us a lot about boomers, and I think that they're using celebrities, these black celebrities, to identify or connect with boomers who if they're your parents or relatives, whatever, you reach out to them, they're giving you advice based upon what they're watching on TV. If they're connected to IC or they're connected to Vivica, they're like, oh yeah, this might be a good idea for you. So they're passing on that incorrect knowledge, or I guess.
Let me say one thing to you. Let me say one thing to you. I don't know, how old are you by chance, if you don't mind me saying?
I'm 40.
See, you're 40, so that would put you as an older millennial. What happens is we smash everybody together. I think they're more connected with the baby boomer, which will be my parent, and also the oldest Gen Xer. Those people missed the retirement window, but like they didn't get the best retirements. They didn't really buy their houses. The boomers are now old, like 70 and like 65. What they're targeting is the highly exploitable 54-year-old, 53-year-old. And what's happening now is for us, when you like in your early 40s, everything looked the same. But what happened was there was a shift in what they got access to and what even the people that are 66 and 67 got access to. So they're targeting a highly exploitive generation of people that have aged up but believe they're gonna retire but don't have nothing, and they're now like 55 years old. The baby boomer and also the oldest Gen Xer. And I believe partially, as I said earlier, is because all they have now is popular culture. So they be out here still knowing all the dances, still having all the DVDs in their house, still living with the t-shirts, putting their kids in the t-shirts of Aaliyah. And I just think that we got to be careful to look at generations, because the oldest baby boomers, if they were targeting them, they'd be using Smokey Robinson. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? Let me ask you more generally. What do you think about them using it, these people that die themselves, to sell this product all overall, like Uber?
It's disgusting. It's embarrassing that we continue to fall for that trap. Again, I feel like I've been watching you and obviously you've for a long time, and I feel educated enough to know not to make that choice, but there's too many of our people who continue to fall for it.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that happens, and it's interesting, because I think that black people have a power issue. So they create, so I'll tell black folks that the middle black family in LA, which is the West Coast and a very wealthy city, is worth $200 liquid. And then in Boston, it's $8, where we're going almost East Coast, right? And then South, I'm going to Miami, and it's $11. That's the whole country. Everything else is somewhere in that range. And what they'll say is, we just need to build. No, I just told you we're an abject poor group in a country that's worth that's worth trillions, where people are moving billions of dollars daily. Your whole, everyone you know is abject poor, basically. So what'll happen is, then they'll say, we just got to build and buy some stuff, but they never really deal with, do you have $25,000 loose? And they'll be like, now the other thing that happens, I think, also is this group, it suffers from, I watched this thing and Yvette sent it to me, Earn Your Leisure, and they was talking about a circulation of the black dollar, right? Well, and they were talking about, and the guy was talking about the Earn Your Leisure guy, the basketball one. He was talking about how he talked to this man, and this man was Jewish, and they circulate their dollar. But the moment we talk about ADOS, they get confused. Well, the black dollar can't be circulated in blackness because it gets sent out through remittances, because these other people are not anchored in this country. They have family in Nigeria or in Jamaica or in Haiti, and I'm not saying that's wrong for them to, but that you can't say that there's no circulation there. Their money, you give money to a Jamaican business and it goes to Jamaica. Giving it to blackness leads to it not circulating in the black community, because that's not the community. The community is the ADOS community. And then you can start talking, but you don't even understand that, Earn Your Leisure, man. So I'm saying all this not to take your point, but to say there are significant issues here in this community, and it starts with how much nostalgia has taken the place of wealth. Go ahead.
Yep, I agree. And the other day, me and my friend were talking, and he's following Dion. This is a little tangent, but he's following Dion prime time, and he feels like, and I'm telling him, Dion past the prime is what I call him. Don't fall for that hustle. And he's bought a bunch of Colorado gear, and he feels like he's supporting the black man. He's like, yo, why are you hating on Dion? I'm like,
Come on.
doing for Colorado, that's helping other people.
Yeah, come on. Well, that's the problem is we don't even have a definition of what our people is, and that's why I think now might be the time to let go of black celebrity. I'm just gonna let you go. Thank you so much because you right on point. I just showed you. We anchored. I want to talk about this product because this is the discussion. You got these elderly pop culture figures, and y'all just okay with it. Goddamn Temptations. I need you to see it. Ooh. Will we let the Temptations sell us computers? Will we let the Temptations sell us anything in like '01? No. Part of it is they didn't have a dye back then. Part of it is they didn't have the lasers and the Botox. I'm not saying that Diddy and Kevin Hart use Botox. I don't know if they do, but I'm talking about the tools and mechanisms to make this like keep this piece on top. He had to have like a bald spot like George Jefferson. So it was clear. Y'all got to do better. You got a guy who was on 106 in Park almost in 06, 20 years ago. Nearly 20 years ago. And he out here selling you pop culture product and you fine with it because you don't know nothing about the Decadent Veil and black celebrity covering everything up. I need us to talk about this thing. A lot of people gonna come in here talking about hating. I don't know what that means. All I know is that they selling us junk. I want to get into a discussion about this whole topic because I'm looking at Ice-T and Vivica Fox on screen and I don't want them on my screen no more. I want to be able to watch a show without them selling me this damn CarShield. I know you do too. 310-388-3499. Let's zoom in on these folks. Lord. And they just trying to present this and sell this about protecting your car. Take it from Ice-T and Vivica Fox. There's nothing funny about when your car breaks down. CarShield got 2,000 subscribers. If you don't get out of here, game over. CarShield. So what is this CarShield? Because Vivica Fox look out here looking like this. Because all her stuff 30, 25 years ago, 20 years ago. Look at her. It's time to let this go. These people were not famous like 3 years ago. It was like when the Cosby Show was on. Right around there. Get up out of here with this. Let's talk about what they selling. So what are you saying, Tone? Why is it so bad? What's the difference? Well, it's like a subscription model, and then they don't be wanting to fulfill like the actual claims purportedly according to the users. And so you got them selling this CarShield. This is Denver 7 News. And I guess back in 2021, they had an F. Thank you so much for the support, Tristan Holmes. And I'm doing the work that I feel like, everybody ain't doing. The other side of the shield, CarShield customers repair shop complain about coverage. BBB gives CarShield an F rating. This is, again, Denver 7 News. I'm reading most of the article. You can go pull the whole thing up by typing that title in. Lakewood, Colorado. You may have seen CarShield's commercial featuring celebrity endorsers such as Ice-T warning your car is going to break down, costing you thousands to repair. That's why I protect my babies with CarShield, Ice-T says in the advertisement. Remember, CarShield, cars go farther. At first, April Grant, who lives in Aurora, bought into CarShield big time. Grant said she paid the highest package available to her, the gold package, and that her premium was $139 a month. I want everybody to understand, and in no way am I actually pushing this product. I'm just telling you that I know enough to know that this is wrong. If you go to Car Edge right now, they got extended warranty. They'll tell you up front they only make $300 on each policy, but you can buy the policy outright, meaning you buy it at once for, let's say, it depends on your car. You put your car and your make in there, but let's say you have a 2012 Ford something, a small Ford compact car. I think they were still making the Escort then. What ends up happening is the policy will be like $1,800 and it'll cover you up to 100,000 miles or 150,000 miles. Well, you own that policy. It ain't no monthly subscription. And I don't believe it's with the same company that CarShield is using. But they are going to target people who can't come up with that 1,800 and charge you 139 every month. If I can find Ice-T, boy, I will find him right now, Grant said. They make that commercial look so good. If your car needs $5,000 worth of work, all you have to do is pay a $100 deductible. When her car broke down, this is April Grant, who had CarShield, last December, she said all the lights on the dashboard came on. Those big promises on the commercial were broken down in fine print. When CarShield denied her claim, Grant was shocked. What are we talking about again? We talking about this. That come up on your screen and your grandmama's screen while she watching all that TV she shouldn't be watching, all them weird shows in the middle of the day. They paint them young and put them in front of a mechanic shop, and your grandma sign up and don't tell you about it. She tell you when the mechanic don't want to take it. When CarShield denied her claim, Grant was shocked. She had read her contract and it covered everything from engine parts to windshield wipers, but not what she needed when her car broke down. Wheel speed sensors were not included in the long list of covered parts, and there was no coverage for brakes or ABS parts. They told me they didn't cover electrical. Grant said, this entire car is electrical. I got the highest warranty, and I thought they would have been covered too, especially if they're covering something with a turning signal and something that's small as a windshield wiper. Grant said CarShield refused to pay for her repairs or the diagnostics. I think it was bull, said Grant, who pointed out that she is not alone. The BBB lists more than 1,500 complaints against CarShield and gives the company an F rating. Now, this isn't just a CarShield show. This is a show about how 90s nostalgia has stuck Black America and Black politics in the sand. Because what ends up happening is that as they try to hold on, they're selling products to us, and probably the only products we can buy, which is predatory products, in my view. From Uber to fantasy football to rent to own, and I believe they shouldn't be celebrities no more. None of these people should be considered celebrities no more. You need to put them in another drawer now. I know where you put them when 106 in Park was on. But this ain't your childhood no more. This is not for games. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is a game. And you're not really understanding that you're a grown person and responsible for an elongated life, meaning you're not going to probably, many of you, God bless, are going to live well past 55 and 60, and you're going to age out and you're not going to have any money, any wealth. Might not even own a home. And Will Smith, to me, and Jay-Z's thing don't help you get there. No retirement. They're not even setting us. You're driving Uber. Then your kids themselves are being set up to be socially collapsed. They are driving Uber tonight. That means that you guys as a family are basically collapsed. You have multiple generations of people high-fiving going to drive Uber while they watch these people sell them CarShield for their car and don't understand. They're not finna cover your car. The reason they have an F grade is because of advertising issues and also because they failed to address the underlying pattern, said Chris Tedford, a spokesperson with the Better Business Bureau. Meanwhile, several other Coloradans have reached out to contact Denver 7 to tell their CarShield stories. We forced them, said Lori Jackson, who said CarShield delayed paying for their truck repair for months, and we would be on the phone for hours and hours. I was diligent or I never would have seen the money. Vanessa Sanchez said a mechanic diagnosed her engine as blown, but CarShield wanted him to dismantle the engine first. He got to take it all the way apart. At that point, the mechanic explained to me that I would be responsible for paying the labor costs if CarShield did not cover the repair. Said Sanchez, who is still hoping CarShield will pay for the repairs. I work for Denver Public Schools, so having to pay that extra money with 3 kids at home, it's been a struggle. But she had paid the deductible and she had listened to the Ice-T commercial, and none of it came about. But it ain't just them. And it ain't just CarShield. It's Uber. It's Grubhub with Snoop Dogg. We get into that. CarShield is a below average company based on its D rating from the Better Business Bureau. As I told you before, now it's a D. It was an F. Purportedly, I'm looking at all of this stuff. And the fact that BBB issued a consumer warning about the company due to a pattern of customer complaints. Some customers have a great experience with CarShield, but I can justify a higher rating due to the BBB's findings. And I take all callers. I tagged Ice-T and Vivica Fox. Maybe they can call in and tell us about this product. I just know that a lot of black celebrities from like 30 years ago, they slapping their name and their face on anything. CarShield is a privately owned company that sells third-party vehicle service contracts, also known as extended warranties. These plans are meant to cover expensive car repairs arising from mechanical problems. CarShield plans start at $99 a month. Then when you read the editor's ratings, pros, great for short-term coverage, affordable rates, variety of plans, low deductible options, roadside assistance. Cons, history of not paying out claims. So I pay you and get you my money that I really should just give myself and put in an account. And then when I need my money back to fix my thing, you tell me that you don't cover that. Mixed reviews from customers. CarShield reviews and ratings. BBB 1.33 out of 5. We'll get into the details of that. BBB D rating. But you don't have to take their review for it. We can go to the Better Business Bureau site. Now, this isn't just, again, a show about CarShield. It is a show about the problem with elderly, geriatric, aging black celebrity refusing to age out. We didn't do that with the old people like this. We didn't let them stick around like ooh, 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 ooh. And it's time for you guys to realize you can't live on nostalgia and black celebrity. I believe Generation X and older millennials don't have nothing, so then they just holding on to black celebrity and versus songs to make themselves feel like they somebody. Now, these people know that. And I believe that what's happening is a manipulation of that very need because you don't have no house, you don't have no retirement, you basically unstable, you drive an Uber, but as long as you can sing that song, that Ice-T song, you're going to be all right. But you giving your money for a protection that ain't real. This is the BBB review of CarShield right here. And we got comments. Please join the chat. All across the country, we have people talking. Join the chat. 310-388-3499. If you used CarShield, if you haven't, it's fine. I have more than enough reviews to go through that I picked out randomly from this Better Business Bureau with this D rating. So just stay tuned in. So the actual company on the BBB, it has a 1.35 out of 5. It has a D rating. False advertisement. You can take it to anyone. I took my car to the dealer. They refused to pay the bill because they found it cheaper at the backyard mechanic. So I dropped them. Never go back. Mike D. October 31st, 2023. I went to some of the most recent reviews. October 28th, 2023. Rhonda P. 1 star. This is 1 star from Mike D. 1 star from Rhonda P. I know that CarShield is a ripoff. They don't give you interest on your money. They just give you back what you give them. So you giving them $100, $130 every month. And you say 2 years your car wasn't broke down. You could have, that's how much money is that? That's like $2,400. Your car only worth $17,000, or for that matter, $8,000. And you done gave these people $2,500 on an $8,000 car that you could have just kept in an account and had in an interest-bearing account. They don't give you interest. They just give you back what you give them. I was very disappointed. The bill for an engine came. They paid. I've been waiting for them almost for 3 years, and that's all they paid. Well, damn, I could have saved all my damn money myself. They're a rip-off company. Don't use them. Thanks, Big Pretty. CarShield requested that the administrator of your vehicle service contract examine your claim based on the review you have provided. The result of the investigation. Notice that they have that basic response on all of them almost. So they're not even really responding personally to these claims on this BBB. So the response is how you can partially get your stuff from an F to a D, I believe. So they're doing like a blank, a basic copy and paste response, and you can see it here, and it's not really even answering the people. I want you to see this thing. That's the purpose of this show, because maybe some of y'all thought you could get safe from your parents not having no inheritance and you not having no savings by getting this CarShield. They do not, Jill D, 1 star. They do not, come on. I know this one is an early show and we come in with it. They do not cover all your expenses. They negotiate with the company repairing your car. Do not pay for parts properly. Also, do not pay for labor. I had to pay $700 out of pocket because they would not pay all the labor for repairs. Come on. Be aware, false advertising. This has happened twice now to me. CarShield requested that an administrator of your vehicle. Oh, it sounds just like the other one. Chris W., October 28, 2023. I'm not cherry picking. I'm picking the last 6 or 7 reviews. I don't have a choice. I have to give them 1 star. They don't deserve any stars. This is undoubtedly one of the worst extended warranty companies in business. I want everybody to understand how politics comes into play before I read the rest. Politics is supposed to protect you from this even existing. Politics is supposed to be your demand of your local government, of your state government, that they prove that they actually are offering the service that you're paying for. I want everybody to understand these CDs, these knickknacks. They have you guys stuck in a loop where aging black celebrity from the 90s that was on the Cosby Show or Independence Day, the first movie in 96, or the guy from New Jack City in 92, they can still sell you product. They supposed to have been gone. Come on. You can't let them dye their hair black and sell you Uber. I want to talk. Let me read this one. Stephen S., 1 star. CarShield misrepresented a product on both television ads and me as a consumer when I signed up for their car warranty service because I filed a claim after 4 months of paying for their warranty service. They refused to honor my claim. It is my opinion that CarShield is running a scam on consumers looking for a reliable way to protect them from huge car repair bills, and by doing so constitutes a false advertising fraud. This company, CarShield, should be investigated. False and misleading advertising. Now, they said that based on your name and email address provided, we are unable to locate your contract. All right. So it looks like if they look you up and they can automatically find you, they got 1 reply. And then if they can't find you, they're going to give that 1 reply. They have 2 replies generally. Nothing specific. DP. I have been with CarShield for over 8 years in 2 vehicles. So if we were to roughly use $100 over 12 months, over 8 years, over 2 vehicles, we're looking at, let's just use a rough number. It's more than 8,000, but 8,000, 8,500, but 8,000 to $16,000 that you didn't gave them. Well, until I needed them, all was well, making payments each month. Not so good after being denied a claim based on them not understanding what their policy indicated. Again, we're looking at $100 a month. Over 12 months, $1,200. Over 8 years, that's like $8,500, $9,000. Over 2 cars. So she done gave them almost $16,000 to $19,000. And when it was time to meet the claim, they said no. Nah. But it ain't just CarShield. It's this rent to own and this fractional home ownership that Jay-Z and them are talking about. Jay-Z and Kevin Hart. They're going to sell you a piece of it. This is contract leasing in another form to me. From the thing they use to manipulate and take from black folks. Look, when you rent a house, rent an apartment, you are not responsible for most of the major fixes because you don't own the building. That's the luxury you have. You can leave when you like. As long as you don't have a lease for like 12 months, you can leave in a reasonable time. As long as you didn't mess it up, you're gone. And that's your deal. When you buy the house, you are responsible for the furnace, for the walls, for the plumbing, because you bought it. This gray area where you have the responsibilities of ownership in large parts, and then you really just renting, and we gonna be fair to you in the middle of a chaotic market regarding interest rates and the valuation of property, it don't make no sense. I've read a lot of the stories, and they didn't frame it as properly as Commercial Observer did. They were talking about Jay-Z and Will Smith giving giving poor indigent people a chance. Again, I want you to understand, in my opinion, there is no reason that if you are targeting any section of white America, including poor white America, that you use these black spokespeople. These black spokespeople are used to target the black poor. You don't need Kevin Hart to sell fantasy football to white America for $1 at a time. You don't need Kevin Hart with this black dye. You don't need Ice-T and Vivica Fox to sell these extended warranties to white America. You don't need Will Smith and Jay-Z, the dropout dope dealing man that he was, to sell rent to own to white America. I need you guys to understand who they're trying to sell it to, and it's you. They're using these geriatric, these nostalgic, older black celebrities that largely had their highest point some 20 and 30 years ago to sell you these products. Because you are hooked on 90s nostalgia and don't even know it. Stuck in a time machine. I need you to see it because we're going to talk about it right now. I know this is a heavy show. Jay-Z and Will Smith back rent-to-own startup Landis Technologies. Jay-Z and Will Smith have 99 problems, but a new investment in the housing market isn't one. Oh, that was cute, wasn't it, by this lady? In 2021, a group of investors that included Sequoia Capital, Jay-Z's Rock Nation, and Will Smith's Dreamers Venture Capital are investing in a $165 million fundraising round for a startup that helps renters. Don't forget that Jay-Z and Beyonce were allowed to be early investors in Uber. Many of these are key population control for poor people because poor people are being shut out. So they got to invest in Uber, and then they told you about, and then Uber became cool, so then you use Uber. Your love for old black celebrity will be the financial death of you. Now, Landis had a BBB page, but they don't have many reviews, but the reviews are negative. But I found another site that has more reviews, so we'll talk about that. But what they did have on their BBB, which was rated C-, what is Landis again? Landis is the company that Jay-Z and Will Smith is pushing, and it had a C-. The company owns a home next to my parents and rented it one time. The tenants moved out and left the grass 3 feet high and a broken down car in the back. No one, including our township officials here, can get in touch with the company to get the problems taken care of, and the neighbors are left with the mess. These are the reviews that were on there. Were some of the options, but I had chose Landis. Oh, I'm sorry I did. This was truly a waste of my valuable time. I submitted an app and was told I was pre-qualified. I disclosed start dates for both of my jobs. They made me submit many documents, including the offer letter for my second job. After doing so, I was told I need to be on my second job for 6 months before they could consider it as income, and my debt ratio was too high, which is not because the bank themselves told me my debt ratio was satisfactory. My problem is not that they declined me, but the fact that they have me submitting documents when they had already determined that I would not be approved. I was referred to this program to wait for my scores to update, but this program was a joke and a waste of time. If I knew they were going to give me the runaround, I would have spent my time more wisely and reached out to other lease purchase companies I was referred to. I am very disappointed and will give a negative review anywhere and whomever I can. Home lease to purchase, and it has major problems. This is somebody else on Better Business Bureau. Again, they don't have many reviews, but what they do have is a C minus. For this company to be around so long, not have many reviews is not a good sign to me. But I have another site that has more reviews, and we'll go into that in a second. But these are the ones that were on Better Business Bureau. Home lease to purchase, and it has major problems: sewer, roof, all leaks, infestation of bed bugs, chimney cap bot on electrical issues. Now they're trying to say we lease to purchase owners need to supply estimates and get fixed, and we'll reimburse when we barely have enough money from staying in a hotel. What did I just say to you? You're responsible for a house that you don't own. When this was a home, we just paid with our money on fixed income with 4 children, still home not fixed. We want answers, the home fixed. We cannot buy until the items in the home closing are fixed. This is the Better Business Bureau. But I had another website that gave some more reviews on this thing, on this Landis. And I'm going through this for a reason, because I need you guys to understand from people who actually use these services the reality of this bad product that's being pushed forward by Black aging celebrity. And that is the new role, the new cap role that is played. And then you guys treat them like celebrities and let them release a new album or support them through their marriage divorces and their lives, but you don't never connect the dots. Everybody worried about whether Will Smith and Jada Pinkett gonna make it and all this. How about these homeowners? How about this rent to own that don't make no sense? And this is horrible business in my view. How about we don't care because this is what this man do? Everybody talking about venture capital and all that. Okay, yeah, okay. We're gonna invest in rent to own. Rent to own, and call that helping the low income buy a house. Chuck, it is hilarious for all the wrong reasons. You are right. And I'm tired of Will and Jada. We up early having this discussion about this rent to own. This Uber, this overpriced car warranty. We're having the discussion that ain't nobody else having. We have been dealing with a horrible plumbing issue. The plumbing to one of our bathrooms is shot. Busted pipes that weren't even connected, and Landis refuses to fix anything. We looked at multiple houses and have to settle for this one. All right. So y'all want to be homeowners. Y'all ain't got no inheritance. The interest rate is 9%. So you signing any kind of paperwork, and Will Smith and Jay-Z are the ones that make you believe. We looked at multiple houses and had to settle for this one. Come on. Because it's the only one they approved, and the plumbing wasn't even up to code when they bought the house, but they expect us to pay to fix it. But you renting. Apparently, the inspector didn't do a very good job, and we weren't present during the inspection because my husband would have noticed the issues. Buying our first home is proving to be a disappointment, and the lack of customer service is atrocious. Landis is evicting me because I have a medical condition, which I put on FMLA for. I applied for rental assistance and got approved, but they wouldn't accept it because the state is taking too long to send it. Now me and 3 children have 15 days to leave during Christmas time, even though I got approved for the full amount owed. The mediation team has horrible customer service and didn't want to answer my question. Yeah, because you in a rent to own. I need everybody to understand what rent to own means. It don't mean low income home ownership being sold by celebrities from 1996. Come on. Currently in a Landis owned property in Maryland, had some medical problems in December and got behind on payments. They demanded $3,000 or they would proceed with eviction. The problem is in the state of Maryland, they didn't follow proper procedure. They finally obtained representation here in April and had me go to court in May for their representative not to show. Went back to court in June with a balance of $10,000. I'm still locked out of their payment portal, and they have refused to respond to any emails. At this point, I just want to move, but they refuse to communicate with me, so I feel stuck. Do not use this company. It's been a nightmare. Olivia B. And she damn sure looks like a black person. Landis and Will Smith back rent-to-own startup Landis Technologies. I want everybody to understand what's going on. I want everybody this morning to understand the gravity of the mix of old black celebrity that painting themselves with dye, your nostalgia and need to see them, even though it's a long ass time ago. Count it out for me. When was 2006? Okay, it's 2023, so 2013. Okay, 03. Damn, that's a long ass time ago this man was on this show. And I'm still following him and buying product because he owned it. All right. Landis is a scam, a company full of Ivy League thrives who have zero intentions on actually helping their clients purchase their forever home. Again, these are the views of actual reviewers. I'm not purporting that these are the only views. I'm just laying out some of the reality of views that are on the internet about this company so you can see it for yourself. Their intent is to charge twice the rent price for the area the homes are in and not actually help the client improve their credit and further them to homeownership. They took away our payment portal and proceeded to try and evict us all while they are in breach of their own contract, including but not limited to falsifying lease documents and submitting them to court of law. See, I can't say that that's actually happening or not happening. I'm just looking at the stream of reviews, the Better Business Bureau grade, everything else, and also the fact that it's rent to own and questioning it all. Avoid Landis at all costs unless you want to lose tens of thousands of dollars and end up homeless. We are currently in litigation with them and hope to receive the justice us and I'm sure many others deserve. And this is Landis here. Jay-Z and Will Smith back rent to own startup Landis Technologies. But it's not just Landis. It's not just car extended warranty from CarShield with Ice-T and Vivica Fox. It's Snoop Dogg with Grubhub. He from 92 and 94 as well. Grubhub expands Snoop Dogg starring effort on tale of international success. And I said to you again, if they're trying to sell it to white people, why would they use Snoop Dogg on this damn motorcycle? They're targeting you. They want you to get on this damn bicycle and ride that bicycle till your feet hurt and drop off food. See, there was a time, and some of y'all in there gonna be honest. Do you raise your hand if you remember this time? Let's call this the Remember This Time section. There was a time where if you graduated from college and you started to have to drop off pizza, you came to a realization that your life had collapsed. How many people remember that? Because it wasn't that long ago. It was before Obama brought in Uber and gig jobs right after he was sworn in. But now you can have people doing this for months, if not years, and no awareness that their life economically is collapsed, that they are liquidating cars to survive. People are saying they remember. So you can actually now tell people with pride that you drive Uber. Now, I'm not saying that in the sense of you should actually feel like you are a total failure, but I'm saying that it is not a commendable job. It does not carry 401k, retirement, vacation. You don't have a union. You're not employed. You are surviving. Now, I'm going to tell you that because your mama not going to tell you. Your family and your friends not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that because you need to know that you are collapsed economically. Grubhub expands Snoop Dogg starring effort on tale of international success. And they got him on this motorcycle from the hood, look like, with a Grubhub box on the back, like a music video from the 90s. But this is the reality of Grubhub politically. Food delivery companies sue New York City over minimum pay law. Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub argued that the city used poor data to calculate how much food delivery workers should earn and that the change would hurt consumers. 3 food delivery giants are suing New York City to block minimum pay standards for gig workers, arguing that regulators used faulty data to calculate new compensation rules. So they don't want to pay that New York City minimum wage. Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub on Thursday each filed a request for a temporary restraining order in the state Supreme Court in Manhattan. So you got to wonder, if they setting the minimum wage at $20 an hour in California for fast food workers, shouldn't all these Grubhub workers make $20 an hour? They just dropping off this food? Or is that a workaround where you don't have to pay them because they don't really work for your McDonald's or your Chipotle? Most likely it's the latter. The new pay standard, which was announced last month, will require gig platforms to pay food delivery workers about $18 per hour and to increase about $20 per hour by 2025. And that's in New York. I need us to see what's going on because we got them selling us everything. They got Snoop selling Grubhub, and then they got Diddy selling Uber on the Super Bowl. How many of y'all remember the commercial with Diddy selling Uber on the Super Bowl? We anchored ourselves in these aging black celebrities, and we allowed them to affect our politics to the point where this high school dropout that sold dope and Jay-Z told us to vote for Obama, and without understanding politics, you voted for him, and Obama gave you Uber. Uber meaning the door opening to gig jobs. Before that, you couldn't have no gig job. You had to have unemployment and vacation, and you had to have before Obama, the Domino's pizza guy that came to your house with the thing on top, he worked for Domino's. There were certain liabilities Domino's took on. There's certain liabilities with the product as it was being delivered, meaning what happens now is if you order from Grubhub, Domino's, Chipotle, McDonald's is able to step away from their responsibility because they have handed it off to a third party. At that point, the third party then comes and brings it to you, and then you got to chase Grubhub if there's something wrong with your food. No. What ends up happening is a door opening to gut labor rights that were fought for 100 years. And you people will say, those, a lot of you guys that voted for him, I voted down ballot Democrat both times. This is before we even started ADOS. 08, 12, that's what I did. Because I didn't understand what you guys were talking about. Now we're here. I don't want to hear about no Republicans stopped him or nothing. I want you to explain this. Presidential inauguration of Barack Obama, 09, January 21st. Uber Technology launched, founded, March 09. Things do not happen by happenstance. There were understandings in place. There were understandings that his labor secretary, Tom Perez, would not block this company. There were understandings set in place that this thing would set off a whole wildfire of gig jobs. And it was set in place by Barack Obama. And now your kids drive this thing because you voted for him and you are quiet. You will give them no inheritance. You have set them to fail. She was pregnant and broke. Signing up for Uber drove her into debt. Y'all remember I covered this woman. Maya Warren sat in the hospital clutching her stomach through the contractions. She tried to focus on the baby, but she thought of her instead of the bank account. Warren knew people who drove for Uber and enjoyed the extra cash, so she pawned her mom's gold ring to rent a car through the ride-sharing service. For a one-time payment of $350, she could drive away in a Nissan Altima. Then $215 would be deducted each week from her Uber paycheck. If she didn't drive enough to cover the payments, Uber's partner in the deal, Enterprise, would charge her credit card on file. In D.C., Uber drivers pull about $15 an hour on average, according to Glassdoor salary data. Because they're contractors, though, the money arrives pre-tax, so Warren would have to remember to set aside some earnings for Uncle Sam for taxes. Can I go to it? Can I tie this together? Y'all digested Barack Obama as celebrity instead of president because celebrities were used to endorse him. This eco structure was put in place by people we don't even know the names of. And you don't know that you're up. And I want to talk about how you have set your child to be Maya Warren. You better go cry in the room because I'm here to tell you. I'm tired of this where these old black celebrities sell us this. They both low educated people. Ain't nobody saying nothing. This is some ridiculous stuff. This man comes in and he's sworn in on January 09. By March 09, we have gig jobs, and everybody done went quiet about all the people that fed us this nonsense. And he invested in it. He invested in it, giving us rent to own, the NFL and the Uber, and we ain't saying nothing. Meaning Jay-Z. It's crazy how people have children that are economically collapsed driving Uber after college or doing gig jobs, don't draw a line directly back to Barack Obama. Uber is literally founded 2 months after he was sworn into office. Someone knew he and his labor department would allow an attack on labor rights like we hadn't seen in 50 years through gig job misclassification as contract work. Maybe they can see it because then these people would have to admit how vacuously they approach voting. Or maybe they can't see it because then these people would have to admit how vacuously they approach voting. Or they can't grasp race versus lineage, meaning ADOS versus blackness, meaning this man is a Kenyan white man that lived in Indonesia. We have no idea what he saw in Indonesia. Or as long as it's not them driving Uber at 1 a.m. by a bar, they don't know and they have a pension, it's fine. In the end, the truth is it has left us with an under 40-year-old generation with gig jobs, no health care, and simply don't grasp risk because all they know is risk. They don't understand that they're not paying their taxes because all they know is not paying their taxes. See, some large parts of society need a 1040 job to take out the taxes, make sure they go to, that's not what we have no more. A large part of society needs proper priced insurance. You can't get that if you're driving commercial. So you just say, I don't have no insurance. You got people in your back seat with no glass in between you. You remember when taxis used to have the glass in between them and you used to get in there in New York City and you used to understand the whole setup and why this man needs to be protected because he's looking forward? Well, they took that away. You don't even understand that strangers ain't supposed to sit behind you. Your 5-year-old understands stranger danger better than you. She had been driving for Uber as much as she thought she could from October to November 21, according to her pay statement. She had banked $1,458 on an average weekly rate of $243. That's barely covered the rental cost, not to mention the gas. 6 days after leaving the hospital, Warren sat at her mother's kitchen table staring at her car keys. Cortez kept sleeping nearby in his bassinet. Again, driving, Warren thought she was probably a better option, though the doctor had told her not to slide behind the wheel. Again, do we understand what's happened here? The reality that now they are telling us that Barack Obama is going to head up the AI, the artificial intelligence. So the guy that gave you Uber and the gig jobs is now going to be in charge of artificial intelligence, which could disrupt the entire labor market. And you sit at the center of that because you voted for him and went and cried and all that on the campus of Howard or on the lawn there in D.C. Biden quietly tapped Obama to help shape his AI strategy. Former President Barack Obama advised the White House over the past 5 months on his plan to address artificial intelligence. Former President Barack Obama quietly advised the White House over the past 5 months on a strategy to address artificial intelligence, engaging behind the scenes with tech companies and holding Zoom meetings with top West Wing aides at President Joe Biden's request, according to aides to both men. So the guy that gave your family Uber is now in charge of AI, and you don't know what's going on. The whole thing is set up where these people from Snoop Dogg and Grubhub to Diddy and Uber to Jay-Z and Landis and Will Smith and Landis, all these people from 35 years ago sell us this trash. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Kia. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, cuzzo? This is my cuzzo. She do real estate in Atlanta, and I wanted her to come in and talk to us about this rent to own.
So it's called fractional. It's
Wait, Kia. Before we get to the fractional, I'm starting off talking about Landis and rent and these rent to own, just the rent to own part. Is that the same thing?
No, so it's different.
Okay, please explain.
The rent to own is basically have a few. I'm a local realtor in the Atlanta market, and I work at the Atlanta and South Fulton. So it's a very high-driven market in the United States. Like, as far as African American wealth, we're number 3, I think, behind Prince George and your area out there, Antonio, the Ladera, Baldwin Hills. We're like number 3. Yeah. So what they do is these companies come in and they say, oh, you don't qualify to buy a house, well, you can rent to lease this house until you are able to buy it. But the amount that you're renting the house doesn't go towards your purchase. So back in the day, they used to have programs where you can lease it and you can use the money that you rented, so the money that you accumulated from rent towards your purchase. But now they don't rent it, and then they charge you purchase the house at which whatever your contract is. Say you bought, so you came in at $300,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you went into a lease, and you had a year to purchase this house. Well, after the year, if the house is now worth $260, you're still locked in for the $300.
What?
To purchase the house.
But so if it went down, you still gotta pay at the high price.
They upcharge it. Exactly. If the house is underwater, it's still under contract for $300. Actually, they don't even care about the price that you locked in your. They will go up on the amount because it tells you once you lock in, it already tells you how much. If you're in there for 2 years, it goes up to $320. If you're in the 3 years, it goes up to $350. So even if the house is worth $250,000, you still have to purchase it when you're ready at $350.
So this don't even make no sense. It don't make no sense.
They're charging you an upcharge on rent. It doesn't.
So now you have black people. You have black people asking to be exploited because they can't. They really don't have no other option. They want to, and then they walk around like they're homeowners.
Exactly. All it is to say that I own this house because you actually are under contract as the owner of the house, even though you're renting it. So the other one is the fractional one, which in my
wait. Let me set that up. Ken and Will Smith are doing something separate, which is like fractional ownership, and it's a way to buy a piece of a house. It's basically timeshare, and they're trying to sell this as low income people investing in homes as well. And she's gonna break that down now too. Go ahead, Kevin Durant and Will Smith.
So fractional is so they target markets that have good rates. Rental rates, which would be like my market, right? So these are people that pay on time. So I know if you're a homeowner, you can always get these phone calls. You get wholesalers, you get Wall Street calling you if you want to sell your house. Now they're targeting real estate agents like myself to knock on your door to say, do you want to sell your house, right? We're going to give you market value for this house. So like a wholesaler, they'll give you below market. What fractional does is give you actual market for the house, right? And it's all cash. And they get small investors like yourself to come in with a $5,000 minimum, and they're promoting it to you as like ownership of a property. So they'll put this. So myself, I will come to fractional and say, I have this listing or this seller. Fractional will purchase it. They will put it on the website and they will crowdfund for the house. Basically, we bought the house at $300,000. You can put this percentage back on ROI, right?
The commercialization of home buying.
They promote, so they're saying we'll give you back 5%, right? Well, inflation is more than 5%. The inflation rate is more than 5%. Say it's like 3%,
And also, hold on for a second. Right now, if you take $10,000, you can put it in an account and get 4% on your own without even having to call these people or chase them at a bank. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the ROI is going to change because it changes. With any bank, it will change, right?
Yeah.
So you're basically giving them your money to buy up these houses and to target our neighborhoods
and destroy our communities.
To make everyone a renter. They're making somebody knocks on my door and can give you how much your house is worth, and and they don't have to do repairs on the house. They don't have to do. A lot of people are going to give up their property and think they're going to be able to go buy another house in a year. Okay.
Kia, your phone is going in and out.
Market, we already have.
Kia, your phone is going in and out. I don't know if you're in a bad area.
I'm in a bad area.
Yeah. So basically, all right.
But you get.
Yeah, I get the gist of it. I'll explain. Thanks so much. So basically, what they're doing is they're targeting these communities and they're selling these properties in pieces, and then they're offering you as you invest what you can get with a CD. Meaning, like a lot of black people, because we never have money, don't even understand that right now you can get a CD for 4 or 5%, and you ain't got to deal with none of these people, and you ain't got to attack like communities. And so they're basically gutting the communities by commercializing the properties. When you want, as a homeowner, other people to be building families, invested in schools, to be invested in the community's growth in these homes that are in your neighborhoods. And I don't know if everybody understands the gravity of what all is going on and how these old black celebrities, it's time to let them go. Now you can keep them and they can keep riding these motorcycles around you and selling you this Uber, or for that matter, leading to what only God knows what's next with this AI. And I consider Barack Obama as a celebrity because that's how you guys digested him. You digested him through celebrity. And he gave you Uber. It's right here. He gave you Uber. He gave you gig jobs, I should say. January 09, March 09. And so many people are having problems grasping their own failure and their own mistakes as they go to the Unity One concert in Atlanta, as they go to the Philadelphia outside concert and support this nonsense in the middle of calamity. This is Tone Talks. Please go to tonetalks.net to subscribe, donate, and share. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please share this on this wonderful Sunday. It's time for us to have a discussion about these aging black celebrities and what they're using to hold on. Because for many of us, it's our own families. We out.